Hi friends, Tasha Rose with Radical Mothering. I am going to go pick Zoe up from her volleyball party at school, from her volleyball season, and thought I would take this time to do our Thursday pregnancy update while I drive and while we wait for her. I'm totally hands-free with you guys, so that's that. So today, 19 weeks is where we're at today. I was laying in bed last night, all sad and pathetic because my husband is gone he left yesterday afternoon, and he will be gone until, his contract job that he's got goes through the 17th, and then he comes home on the 18th. So we are without him for 2.5 weeks roughly, and it's so sad, and we've never been apart this long. And I was really upset about it last night and trying not to be an emotional wreck, but alas, I was an emotional wreck. And I was laying there crying, and all of a sudden, and I've been feeling the baby move, of course, but all of a sudden there was just this big massive kick in my belly, and I was like, oh my goodness, there you are, aren't you? And it was really incredible. It was pretty big, and then of course I was sad again because he wasn't there to feel it too. So it is what it is, but it's going to be really good for our family. So that's the sacrifice that we have to endure. So 19 weeks, feeling pretty decent. As you guys know, I was really sick. I came down with something. It wasn't the flu, but it was something gross, and it stuck with me for a whole week. I was in bed, had a horrible migraine, and I had a fever off and on, and it just put me under the covers for about a week. And we fell a little bit behind with school for that, but that's okay because, we build in extra days and whatnot to get through everything that we need to get through. We just wrapped up our Halloween week, and it's All Saints Day today. And this is like the best year for me for Halloween because I don't like sweets right now, and I don't typically like sweets when I'm pregnant with boys. So my strong feeling is that this baby is a boy. My belly's pretty prominent. I will try to take a belly picture a little bit later on today so that I can attach it to this video for you to see. It's pretty big, and that's what happens after you've been pregnant a few times and your belly knows what it's doing at that point. I don't really have a topic in mind right now, and I think it would be really, and it's mostly because I'm tired and I didn't sleep very well last night because Travis is gone. But I do want to hear from you guys if you have a specific topic regarding pregnancy that you would like me to cover. If it is about pregnancy, I guarantee you I have an opinion on it. Oh my gosh, this guy, don't cross, guy. There's the train coming. Okay, good. So many people get hit by the train here because they're just ridiculous and they cross when they shouldn't cross. The train is at a full stop right now because this guy was standing on the tracks. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I think I know what I want to talk about. This is about the time in pregnancy where a lot of mothers start thinking about who is going to be present at birth and who they're obligated to have present at birth. And in addition to that, how soon people are supposed to come and visit, or are allowed to come and visit, or are entitled to come and visit. And I'm thinking anyone from friends to neighbors to church members to family members, even grandparents. So here's the thing. A lot of people aren't going to like this, but a woman gets to choose. Her husband doesn't get to choose. She gets to choose. She gets to choose where she births. She gets to choose who gets to be there, including whether or not her husband is there. If he's a guy who's prone to freaking out in situations like that, he should probably wait away from where she's at and leave her be to do her work. She doesn't need that added stress of, calming a freaking out man. And some men do freak out, believe it or not. You are not obligated to have your mother there. You're not obligated to have your mother-in-law there. You're not obligated to have your sister, your brother, your neighbor's nephew, nobody. You do not have to have anybody there who you don't want to be there. For myself, I've given birth 6 times, and only one of them was I completely by myself when it happened. And the rest of them, I wasn't. And I for some reason with that one, I wanted to be by myself. And it was just us in the dark in my bathroom. I just had a couple of candles going because I didn't want the bright lights or anything. And I almost broke my toilet because he was huge. He was a big boy. But we were alone. And that's how I wanted it. And I enforced it. And I didn't let anybody railroad me into that. And a lot of people feel obligated to have, their mom or their mother-in-law especially there. I don't really want to talk about husbands that much because more often than not, women are going to have their husbands there. But your mother and your mother-in-law, who wants, I don't want that. You might want that. But so many women don't. And I go on birth boards and Facebook groups and whatnot where women, this is one of the things they talk about the most is they want to come and I don't want them there. How do I get out of it? And I gotta tell you, you just have to be assertive and say no. You have to just say no. If you have a doula, that's part of your doula's job. Also is to help you enforce that when you're in that vulnerable state, to say no. If you're birthing in a hospital, you can even say to the hospital staff, nobody's allowed to come in here that I don't want in here. And you put names on a list and say, no, these people are not allowed to be in the delivery room. If you're birthing at home, the only way that anybody's going to know is if you call and tell them you're in labor. So don't, if you don't want them there. Don't call them. Well, but my husband wants his mom there. So what? It's not his decision. Your husband doesn't get to decide who gets to see you in one of your most vulnerable and intimate states of being. He doesn't get to decide that. It is your body and you're the one who is doing the birthing, so you get to decide that. Nobody else. I cannot reiterate this enough or say it strongly enough. You get that decision, nobody else. And mothers-in-law and even mothers can be really difficult and try to railroad you and guilt trip you and get you to do what they want you to do. But they had their opportunity already. They did their birthing. They had their moment and it's over for them. They don't get to relive it through watching their grandchildren be born just because they feel entitled to that as grandparents. That's not how this works. Now I'm going to extend that into after baby's born. Some people want to be there immediately after baby's born. In my viewpoint, that's completely unnecessary. It is 100% unnecessary. And I don't I understand the excitement of a new baby in a family. I get that. But again, this is not about you. This is not about, but I'm the grandma, or I'm the grandpa, or I'm the sister, I'm the auntie or the uncle or whoever. It doesn't matter who you are. That's not your baby, and you don't get to decide when you get to show up. Now, if you call and the family says, okay, yeah, you can come, the mom specifically says, yeah, I'm totally up for a visitor, then show up. If it's at the hospital, you know, if you show up, don't linger. Like, you don't need to stay for hours and hours. Don't demand to hold the baby either. And moms, you can enforce this too. You know, I think you have to talk to your husbands about this too and let them know this is what my boundary is. And like, we have this maternal mammal instinct to protect our babies because they're our babies, you know? So if you don't want somebody to hold your baby, and I don't care who that somebody is, once again, I do not give a flip of wood and nickel who that person is or what they think they're entitled to. Nobody gets to hold your baby unless you say so. That's it. So in our family, you guys know I birth at home, I birth unassisted, I birth up in my bedroom. I don't even let anybody who does not live in my house into my bedroom during that whole month or so before I birth. That's how nested and instinctive and primal I get around birthing. I don't even want anybody in the space that I'm going to be birthing in, because that is such a special place for me, and that's my nest. And Travis will confirm this too, and it kind of irritates him a little bit, but I can't help it. Like, I'm not gonna you know, shove this drive away. I do suppress it a little bit because I do have to get other things done in the house, but I basically, that whole last month before I birth, I want to spend all of my time in that space too. And I'll be up there in the morning and I'll make my bed and I'll remake my bed and I'll make sure the floors are clean and I'll make sure the bathroom is clean and the hallway in between the bedroom and the bathroom, and you know, everything is cleaned several times in the course of this month. And I just want to spend all my time there and put all of my hopes and energy and this gets a little bit woo here, so forgive me for that. This is just my own woo. This is not any other woman's woo. It's my own. It's like I want to put everything, every bit of love and strength and passion and everything that I can into that space prior to birthing, and I don't want people in there who will ruin that for me. And here is an example of that. So when we first moved into our home that we're in currently, after we bought our house, gosh, it's almost 4 years actually that we bought that house, and it'll be 4 years in April. And right before I was going to be birthing Henri, I was very pregnant with him. My husband's father's ex-wife came over because she had something for him or something. I don't even know what she was there for, and she wanted to see the house. And I was very clear with him. I said, listen, I don't like this woman, and I don't. I'm completely honest with it. She knows, everybody knows, I do not like her. And I have lots of really solid reasons why not. And it's not because I just set out to not like her. Anyways, I said, I don't like her. I've been cultivating this space and I don't want her in it. She can come upstairs, she can look in the bedroom, but she is not going into our bedroom. She is not stepping foot in there. I will not have it. And she did exactly that. She came to the house and she did not go into our room, and I kind of stood there kind of blockading the room too, like, you're not coming in here, you know, because I wasn't going to have it. You're not going to come up and disrupt that. I hate using the word energy because it sounds so flippin' woo, but that energy that feeling that I'm cultivating and crafting in that birthing space, I didn't want her disrupting it, so I wasn't going to allow it. Now, after babies come, so whenever I'm pregnant, I'm kind of notorious on Facebook for posting my list of thou shalts and thou shalt nots when visiting me after I have a baby. And among those thou shalts and thou shalt nots are, when you come to my house, if it's within the first 2 weeks, don't expect that you're going to see me and the baby. Because more than likely, I'm going to be still up in my bedroom, in our little nest, in my bed, half naked, nursing my baby most of the time. So you're not coming in that space. Now, if I decide when you're there that I've got the energy to deal with you and to be present with you, then I'll come down with the baby. And even when I do that, don't expect you're going to hold my baby either. I don't know where your hands have been. I don't know if you're a smoker necessarily. And if I do know you're a smoker, I don't know when you smoked last. And that stays on you, on your hands, on your face, on your clothes, etc. And if you're not somebody who I trust really, there's not really a chance I'm gonna let you hold my baby. Like, not even a little. So don't expect it. And if you are somebody who I do let hold my baby, then don't kiss my baby. Don't put your fingers in my baby's mouth. If my baby starts crying, you give my baby back to me immediately. I have this whole list. And if somebody wants to come to my house, I can look at the camera now. If somebody wants to come to my house and violate that list, they don't get to come to my house again when I have a newborn. It's off the table. Women need to be able to assert this. They have to be able to assert their boundaries in birthing, and they have to be able to assert their boundaries with who comes, and how long they stay, and if it's just if you want to bring something for us to eat, that's great, and I'm so grateful. It's so helpful. But people have to remember that this newborn baby is not about them. It's about the mother and the baby and the new formation of the family. And make no mistake, no matter how many children you have, with every new addition, there's a new family formed. It's an expansion, and you have to, we're still getting into a new normal 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and sometimes even a couple of months in. We're still getting into the flow of a new normal. And if you're an outsider to that, you can't just come in with the demands of, oh, baby, 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 give me baby. I know how it feels. Like, I love babies. I want to hold babies, newborn babies. And you're like, oh, this baby is, they're just a breath of God, and they're beautiful. But that baby's not about me. It's not my baby. So inserting myself to that degree is one of the most selfish things I could possibly do. And if you're doing that to new families, new mothers with their infants, you're being selfish, because it's not about you. It's about that mother and her baby and the new family that has been formed with the addition of that baby. So that's the bug I get in my butt every single time this comes up, and every time I see it in the the different mom groups and stuff that I'm in. I do have a few that I don't hate, so because they're not specifically like parenting groups. There's a couple of Catholic women's groups that I'm a part of, and every once in a while something like this comes up, and it's usually, honest to goodness, it's usually the invasive mother-in-law that is the topic of conversation. So don't be that mother-in-law, or don't be that friend, or don't be that church lady that wants to make this newborn baby about her. So every time it comes up in these groups, I say something, and I have my list on copy paste. I really do. I've got it on copy paste so that I can share it with people and say, look, this works for me. this is how we go about it doing it. If you want to use this, great. If that helps you feel empowered to stand up for your boundaries and protect your baby, because seriously, people just don't even think about all of the things that they come in contact with every day. And you're going to go to somebody's house with a newborn baby and expect to hold this newborn baby who doesn't have their immune system built up yet. Even if they're brand new and breastfeeding, they're still so new and their immune system is raw. You cannot just go there and selfishly expect that anybody's going to allow you to hold their baby. So that's it. That's the rant. I'm going to try to get a belly picture later on, and I'll probably attach it to my Instagram and maybe the thumbnail for this video. But if you have any questions about my list, any questions about or want to comment or expand on this whole boundary setting notion of the who's, the what's, the where's, the when's, and the how's of visiting during birth and postpartum periods, please drop them in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. So please do that. I encourage it. Just keep it respectful is all I ask. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And you can hit that notification bell too, and you'll have that instant notification of, hey, Tasha Rose has a new video out. I think that's going to be it. I'm going to be a little sporadic with videos here in the next couple of weeks with Travis gone, so expect that. I'm going to try not to, but I'm going to really focus my attention on some big projects that I need to get done, that I want to get done while he's gone, and that I need to get done before we have our big Friendsgiving at the beginning of December in a month. So that's where I'm going to focus most of my energy, and maybe I'll film a little bit of that. One of them is a massive laundry project, so maybe that'll be a good one for Martha and Mary, I guess. So anyhow, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Radical Mothering, and you can also find our Facebook page, my Facebook page, Radical Mothering, on Facebook. And also I am on Twitter, but I use that for more political stuff. So, all right, I've got a Zoe coming out, so I will wrap this up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.